Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Scrap Mechanics Survival Mode, and today we're going to be doing something that I've gotten in the comments a handful of times for a while now, and this is to potentially help us deal with lag, because one of the main things when you're building bases like really big and overly dense and complex like I have here, you get lag, and especially when it comes to continuing to build, things get really laggy and inconvenient. Now, one of the ways to deal with that, which I've done to a certain extent, is to divide the base up into separate parts. You can see that right here, this glow bug farm is actually not attached to the rest of this to keep it a separate part. You can also see up here, there is a division right here between, whoops, I fell in the water. There's a division between this area and this area, so this back part is separate from the front part. And we also got this division over here too. But there's one more division that I think needs to be made to try to help save us here, because watch what happens to our frames if I just place a block down here. So you can see we have not perfect frames, but we have tolerable frames. But if I place a block down, now look, now it's a slideshow. It's just absolutely terrible, and it takes like 6 seconds to deal with that. And then when I remove a block, it's the same exact thing. And that is because this farm, my entire farm system here, isn't just the farm system. It is also this walkway system here and both bridges. And the reason why it is both bridges is because I want to be able to raise and lower the bridges from the center point here if I'm going to be defending against raids. And speaking of raids, I have to remember that I do have a raid coming tonight in a minute and a half. But so the reason why the bridges are relevant here is because if I separate my main farm or this area from these bridges, then I can no longer connect my switch here to the logic that controls those bridges, because they are no longer part of the same object, and you can only wire things up to things that are on the same object. However, there is a system that I have not done myself personally, but I've seen it it's just a handful of times over the past couple weeks in the comments. There is a system that you can actually essentially wirelessly communicate between different creations, so that way this switch, despite not being attached to these bridges on the sides, pressing this switch should still be able to control the bridges. So I'm not very familiar with this system, but I think I understand how it works, and I'm going to try my best to set it up in this episode and show you guys how easy or difficult it turns out to be. And now we have about 5 seconds left until the raid happens, so let's enjoy ourselves a nice raid. I think a raid's oh yeah, there we go. Raid is coming in. I'm just gonna make sure. Oh, this is a lot of people. This is a decently sized raid here. What? No, why are you all going after that? I meant to put some like saw blades and stuff on. Man, they're just like they're targeting it. It feels like they're targeting it. I need to put some saw blades and stuff on this. Oh, and he's going, oh no, he destroyed his own. All right, I could just put his head back there. I mean, not, oh, they destroyed that one too. That's fine. I'll get the logic and stuff out of there. All right, everybody else okay here? Oh! Somebody just got annihilated. All right, I think these guys are pretty much done. Let's put them out of their misery. All right, this guy's gonna be hard to hit until he frees. All right, come on, can you stop? Can you stop just a little bit? I just need to take care of this. There we go. I think that's everybody. All right. That was a pretty good turn. We got some decent component kits from that one. That was a lot. I like that. Okay, so in order for this to work, I have to remember how this system even works here, because I have this switch is controlling my bridges, and I have to figure out how it's controlling the bridges. It looks like this switch goes down to this logic gate, and then this logic gate. Why are my frames bad now? Oh, now they're back. But oh man, this logic gate is controlled by all the switches. This is bad. And that logic gate goes out there. But by the looks of it, these logic gates out on the side here are essentially the endpoints to the signal that control the bridge to go up and down. All right, so I'm gonna take a big risk here, but don't worry, my world's backed up, so it's not a completely big risk. But I am now going to essentially disconnect my bridges from the main control point, and we're gonna hope that I'm gonna be able to repair this using the advice that I got from you guys in the comments. When I say it like that, it sounds like a really, really bad idea, doesn't it? So what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna try to keep it consistent on both sides, and I'm gonna put the divider. I hope these bridges are supported. Oh, look at the frames go. Oh, that's bad. No, it's not that bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna put the divider just like this. I hope these bridges aren't gonna fall to the ground. All right, there we go. Now this bridge, I believe, is no longer connected to, yeah, look at that. There's no more wires going to that bridge. And even that switch is no longer hooked up because I was going over to this logic gate. So that bridge is now completely disconnected and no longer functional. And now we gotta do this bridge over here. And we're just gonna disconnect it like that. Oh, that's exactly what I was afraid of. Oh, why didn't I check? Why didn't I check? Oh, no. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Okay. There's a way to do this, right? I think all I gotta do is put that there, and that should line up with this. I don't know. I don't know what I just did. I ruined it. I sunk my entire castle bridge thing. And can you weld here? There we go. Okay. So that's welded there. Let me just try to make sure that this all looks right. Okay. Yeah, the wood lines up here. Everything looks like it's lined up. All right, so now what I gotta do is support it. I'll go ahead and give it a couple of support beams. Oh, I totally forgot about this. I should get all this metal back. I had an extra one of these that I built. Oh, come back. Give me that. I forgot I built another one of those launchers to see if I could launch myself in a different area, but it didn't end up working out, and I totally just left it up there this whole time. That might have been contributing to some lag, because it was just a free object. Oh, I got another engine, yeah! Forgot I had level 5 engines over here. All right, anyway, I was in the middle of building this thing into the ground. So that way, when we actually disconnect it again, it should be freestanding on its own. All right, there we go. So now we go ahead and disconnect it. All right. So now that our frames are coming back, I should be able to build on this. And you can see this doesn't affect my frames anymore by building on this. Now the question is, can I build on my farm without my frames getting demolished anymore? Okay. See, that's actually way more tolerable now. I'll do the test up here because this is where I did the initial test, I think. But see my frames? And then, see? That's not bad. That's like, instead of losing half my frames, I lose like not even 5%. All right, well, now that we have successfully made this much more tolerable to place blocks down on, now we have to actually add the functionality back and be able to have wireless communication between my switches and my bridges. And in order to do that, I need sensors and pistons. And I think I have a bunch of pistons here. I have a bunch of... I don't want level 5. I don't want to waste level 5 pistons on this. Well, I'll use this piston. And what does it cost to make another piston? I really would rather save those level 5 pistons for something more significant. It takes... I can't even build it. You know what? Let's just use it. Oh, wait. Here we go. There we go. Oh, this place... I don't know how I can separate something on this place. This place is still laggy when I place blocks down. But I don't know what more... This is all vertical. It's hard to separate vertical compared to horizontal. Okay, so the way that this is supposed to work is we need a sensor on one side like this and a piston on the other side so that when we press the button over on this main area, it is going to trigger a piston to push a block that the sensor will then detect. And then that communicates a signal from here over to here, which can then be used to trigger the bridge, which I think I could just hook this up into that. And then once that gets triggered, here, let's do a quick test. That should cause the bridge to lower. Oh yeah, look at that. And then that still qualifies as 2 separate pieces. Unfortunately, the bridges lately have actually been the laggy piece. When the bridges are in the water, I think interacting with the water has been causing lag. I get much less lag when the bridges are up than down. All right, so here's how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put the sensor on a range of 2. So it's gonna sense right there and no further. So that means that we need to put a block there. And then I need to get over on the other side of this. All right, hopefully I can reach from here. Yeah, there we go. We put a block there, put a block there, and then I'm going to put a logic block on this side to prevent, hopefully if any tape bots come along in future raids, this logic block will be safe. And I guess I should probably put concrete there to protect the sensor. So now this logic will go into there, and I think now all we gotta do is hook this logic up to where the switch, all the switches used to be hooked up. All right, so this goes into that, and now I think that should work. So now that this switch should hopefully cause that to go down. All right, let's see if it works. Ready? Bridge is up. Press the switch. Oh, I know what's wrong. I know exactly what's wrong. Sometimes I forget that logic gate connections are, they are directional. So it matters which direction you hook them up in. I'm not supposed to hook that one up into this one. I'm supposed to hook this one up into that one. There we go. Now the bridge goes down. And then I should be able to press this button. Ready? And the bridge comes up. Just like that. This is not connected in any way to this part. And yet, we have successfully enabled communication between these two pieces of builds here. Look at that. The sensor is being detected, or the sensor is detecting the thing. And yeah, it gets rid of my frames when it's in the water now. But that's one side successfully implemented. Well, no, hold on, because this also needs to... Oh, wait. Oh, no, this can hook directly in, I think. Oh, this is interesting. Hold on. We need to have a reverse direction as well, I believe. Because I also had these switches, and I could hook this directly into this bridge, but then the problem is this switch isn't controlling the bridge way over there. Oh, that gets more complicated. Because now this needs to pass through 2 separate pieces of structures. Yeah, and the switch down... Oh, all these switches. Oh, boy. Okay. Because, yeah, these switches, too, if I press these switches, it's supposed to bring up and down both. But now they're separated by 2 different sections, so this is getting more complicated now. Alright, I've decided I'm gonna need... I think I just need 2 more pistons, which means I'm just gonna build 2 more pistons. The only thing I was missing, I'm pretty sure, was oil, so this shouldn't be too big of an issue, but I think it's not that complicated. I'm hoping it's not that complicated to do what I'm doing. I have a simple solution in my mind. It's just a matter of, is it going to work? Alright, well, let me start. So now I need to be able to communicate from this side over to the other side. Or maybe not. Maybe just from this side to here, and then that can then communicate to... Alright, you know what? Never mind. I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna do it. Let's stop saying things that don't make a lot of sense, and let's just do it. Alright, so now all I gotta do is just the same thing over here. Block, piston, block. This piston goes to... Oh, I also want to put the speed up so the communication goes as fast as it can. And now that's going to push into that sensor, and then this sensor, then... Yes, this sensor will need to go... Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think if this sensor goes into the block down here... No, wait. Does it? I think this is what it has to do. This goes into there? I'm very confused if this is going to work or not. Because now what essentially is going to happen is when I press a button on this bridge... Oh man, this gets so complicated just talking about it even. But essentially what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna press a button on this bridge, which will send a signal to this piston, which will send a signal to this sensor, which will send a signal over here, which comes back to this piston, which comes back to this sensor to tell this bridge to put the bridge down. I think that's what's gonna happen here. Let me put my logic gate up there. All right, so that logic gate goes into that piston, and I think now we just have to hook all of our switches into that logic gate. And let's see if this works. Ready? It's not working. Oh, wait, no, that has to be an XOR. My bad. Now it should work. Oh! It worked. Let me hook this one up as well. Can I reach it? Come on. There we go. I got it. That goes into there. Okay, so now you can see the bridge is down. When I press this, yes, the bridge comes up. And then when I press this, bridge goes down. And then when I press this, bridge goes up. All right, it's all working on this side. Yeah, this wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Now I gotta do it to the other side, and what's interesting with that is these buttons are then gonna be communicating across two separate pieces, which is gonna be kind of cool. I'm so happy this is actually turning out to be not as complicated as I was originally thinking. All right, here we go. Now we're doing the same thing over here. So we got to communicate from this side and to communicate from that side. All right, so I got the logic and pistons and sensors put here. So now I think this sensor, it's actually, I confused myself putting them both there at the same time, but I'm pretty sure this sensor gets hooked. Please let me up. Please let me up. There we go. This sensor gets hooked into this, and then this has to go to the logic gate on this side. Right here. And now we got to deal with this sensor. When this sensor gets triggered, it is going to go down to that logic gate. Just like that. And then now all of these switches go into this logic gate that I can't really reach. All right, there we go. I think it's all hooked up. Let's give it a try. So you can see bridges are up. If I press this, both bridges, please, both bridges should come down. Uh-oh. Why didn't that work? Oh. It might help if I hook the logic gate into the actual piston that's supposed to be triggering the whole system here. Okay, so let's try this again. Both bridges are up. And now press this. Yes! They both come down. That is awesome. Now they both come up. So now any of the switches that I hit, if I hit this switch, this should hopefully communicate to both sides. Bridges down. Yes. And now if I go and I'm like way off in the distance and I want to hit that switch up there, it brings both sides up. We've done it. We have successfully created essentially wireless communication. We cannot hook up wires from this part to this part, or from this part to this part, or from that part all the way over to that part, but we are able to still send a signal from one side all the way to the other side via pistons and sensors. And now this means that we can build here without getting 10 frames a second. We can build here without going down to 10 frames a second. Only 30 frames a second over here. It's great. The only other issue we have right now is this part. This part. I mean, it's still, yeah, it's still bad. That was down to like 15. Oh, now, yep. Yeah, it's down to like 15 frames over here. We definitely feel it. Yeah, just look at that difference. Oof. But over here, at least, yeah, much, much more tolerable. So then what can we do about this? All right, we're making some great productivity, and there's one more thing that's been bothering me that I think I'm just gonna take care of it now because I just keep forgetting, and that is to finally add drills to my sensor pillars up in the front of my base, the things that I keep getting attacked by the bots when they get up close. All right, here we go. So I think it's just as simple as placing them just like this, and hopefully what this is going to do is anytime they get close to these areas, they're gonna be like, oh no, there's a drill, and then they'll come over here and then they'll get launched by these things. And yeah, that's the gist. That's the gist of it. This is a bit different of an episode, something a little bit more technical and just all about base optimization. Hopefully if you guys are base builders in Scrap Mechanic as well, I hope that this was useful. If this wasn't something you were already previously aware of, this is definitely a nice way to cut down on some lag if you're doing bigger builds like this, and especially if you still need some communication between different parts that you need to separate so that they're less complex. So it's still possible to keep that communication. Thank you to all of you who commented this over the past weeks. Now you definitely know that your comment has been seen, and not only that, but it has actually helped out the series. So let me know what you guys want to see in the future, because obviously your comments do matter. I hope you've been enjoying the series so far. Don't forget to grab yourself some Hank merch so we can help find Hank and bring him home. It's been a few days now, and as you can see, he is not outside here, so let's bring him home. All right, make sure you haven't missed a survival episode by checking out this playlist on the end screen right here. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.